RWP is brought to you by Porch Beer Entertainment.
Well, yeah, your arm's humongous. Because I remember when I did mine, Abby constantly accidentally bumped into it. Accidentally the worst is sleeping because you can't really sleep. You can't sleep on that arm.
Guess what? I don't sleep.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because it hurts.
I remember I put a pillow under it and it was just like this all night. That's all I did.
And I get an hour or two at a time.
And then where are you in the bed? In the bed.
So I'm on the. So if you're in the bed.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I was.
If you're in the bed, I'm on the left side of the bed. And so my left arm.
Okay, good.
So it was isolated from
So am I. I'm a left side of the bed guy too.
It was isolated from any kind of accidental someone hitting it, but
that's good.
If I moved after I fell asleep, it would instantly I'd be aware that it was there again.
Oof.
So, because the first half were he did way more than he did the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Up here was okay. It still really hurt and it was up on my shoulder, but it was kind of I could live with it. Here's so sensitive.
Yeah.
That I just at work and stuff, I'm just I can barely when I was eating lunch, I had to eat with my right hand because I can't even touch my nose.
Because you're a lefty.
Yeah.
So everything that you do is lefty related.
And so somebody came up and slapped me on the right arm today on the right arm,
okay,
and I was it was because they were on my other side. I was if you had touched my arm, I don't think I would have been able to stop from screaming. God.
But then there's a certain point, and I don't know if you experience this too. There's a certain point when you're on hour 3 or 4 where you've just had nonstop pain for the last 3 hours that it eventually you don't really feel the pain anymore at that point because you do.
I guess it's a golden zone. It feels like pressure, but at that point.
You've already been experienced. It's got to be similar to torture. It's got to be like torture, where after 4 hours of torture, you're I'm feeling this, but I'm also just
So, but then once
dead.
he moves to another spot, then it's brand new. So it's every other. So I get used to it about wherever he goes to spot. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I think about it. I'm this is what it feels like. This is my norm. And then the really bad parts were on the underside, the wrist. And the tip of the elbow wasn't that bad. The inside, the ditch of your arm here. Oh man.
Yeah.
That was tough.
I think I have a little bit there. Yeah.
But other than that, it was okay. But that was my third 8-hour continuous session. So me and this guy have spent an entire 24 hours together with him beating the crap out of my arm.
Dude, it's a lot. It's a lot, but so do you have one more session?
Yeah, so he said, he said, I'd be surprised if it takes 2 hours because he's just going to go do those 2 little empty spots, the last cherry blossom branch, and then he said he's just going to touch up whatever doesn't look perfect, and then I'm out of there.
God, I feel bad for you, dude.
So I'm almost there, man. I'm almost there.
Well,
It's taken. I was really optimistic at the beginning, thinking it could be done in 2 sessions. But the guy's really good, and he takes his time. So,
boy, were you wrong.
Yeah. So now it's gone 3, and it's probably gonna go 3.2. So, it's good. It hurts constantly until it scabs, and when this thing scabs, it's gonna be a nightmare to move.
Ooh, that's true. Because you're in the injury phase still. You're not.
I can still it hurts to extend it, but the skin's tight and swollen, but it's not crusty.
Yeah.
So once it's become the crust, if I move or twist, it's just gonna open.
Oh, Pete didn't answer the phone. We asked him specifically to be available.
Do you see how fast that went to voicemail? You
I'm
realize that we were blocked?
I'm gonna try again.
We gotta be on Do Not Disturb.
I'm trying FaceTime audio. Maybe he'll answer that because it's unusual. He's going to ignore this because we specifically asked him to be available because we wanted to check in.
Again.
He does tend to be on the bathroom, not on the toilet. All right, I can't take that noise anymore. I'm going to try his actual phone one more time. Let's see. Ooh, it's ringing. If he doesn't answer, we'll just leave him a voicemail. Maybe he'll call back. Hey there.
Hey, Pete. Welcome into the
CMO
Random Word
Pete.
podcast. Yeah.
Hey there.
Why are you so out of breath?
I'm working out.
Oh. Yeah.
Why?
Because you can't do it on Friday.
I know, but like, why are you
hours.
working out in general?
To look good naked.
Because that's what people do.
News to me.
That's what people do, Ben.
Really, I didn't know that. Pete, have you? I know you're working out. We'll keep this quick, but I did want to check in. We gave you a couple special projects at the beginning of the year, and I wanted to do kind of a almost mid-year check-in. I know we're in May, but part of being a CMO is working under surprise pressure. So I wanted to check in and see what the latest is.
Latest in terms of what?
In terms of
your job.
your job, Pete, the one thing that we have paid you to do.
The activities that we have financially paid you to do.
Well,
Marketing.
The latest update is that there's never been any direct deposit into my bank account. So,
Is Pete airing his
kind of
dirty
thing.
laundry on the show? Pete,
Pete,
is this your way of getting back at us?
Pete, you're not supposed to talk about financials over on the air.
Yeah, it's poor taste.
It's really bad taste. Pete, what's the tell us one marketing thing you've done for us here lately this year?
Pete, it could be anything.
Pete never
Do you tell a friend about us?
Yeah, have you told anybody about the show? Pete, we're almost at 2,000 downloads. So you've been doing a great job.
thanks, man. I feel like I told my colleagues about it.
So you've had how long being CMO?
But you've worked-
told maybe you're not even sure if you've told anyone.
Yeah, but you've worked at that job for years, and we've been doing the podcast for almost a year. So you're saying you recently just told your
I
colleagues?
guess it'll be a year in September?
August, September.
Well, we
yeah.
were released in September, I think. Yeah.
Something like that. So Pete, long story short, you told the guy that works next to you that your friends do a podcast. He probably wasn't listening. He had his headphones in. He went, "What?" And you went, "Never mind. I got to go work out." That's what happened?
Not exactly like that.
But pretty close.
Sure.
Pete, you're really bringing a lot to the show here. Are you excited for the next time you're coming on? You're coming on here soon. You didn't get the memo?
Waiting for that. Well, I didn't get the direct deposit either. So
We're not paying you to come on the show, Pete.
Pete, this is free publicity for you. We've
And
got
Underdog
thousands
Garage.
of downloads.
Yeah.
Almost 2,000.
We've contributed to your Underdog Garage viewership, Pete.
Exactly. I like the 10-second pause before any sort of talking that he does.
He's just working out on autopilot. and
Pete,
then
what?
he'll say
Here,
something
tell
like,
us what
"Sounds
exercise.
lucrative."
What exercise are you doing right now?
I'm running.
No, that's not working out.
attaboy, Pete.
That's
He's
not
got
working out.
Pete has a Spartan race this weekend, the stadium sprint at the Nats Park.
Oh,
Me-
congratulations, Pete.
Me and him did it last year, so he's training to defeat
Yeah.
his past self.
Well, that's
Get me a.
yeah.
If you get me a Random Word podcast shirt, I'll wear it while I'm running.
How do you sound so evenly, talking while running?
How much have you run so far,
A mile.
Attaboy.
Pete? That's never going to get you anywhere. Trust me.
What?
It's never. It's only a mile away, man. Only a mile away. Well, we appreciate you coming on and really adding a lot of value here. Any final thoughts here before we kick you off the show?
Forever?
Yeah, forever.
Just keep on keeping on.
Oh my God!
I
can't do it.
I was literally about to say he's gonna say keep on keeping on, man.
Bye, Pete. Get out of here. Oh my God! I can't with that guy. I love
the
it.
most disinterested employee we have.
Because the funny thing is Pete he knows the show. He's been on the show. He knows the
He's been
general
on the show
vibe.
more than any of our other guests.
He knows the vibe of the show, and he refuses to play along.
He's had 3 phone appearances
Oh yeah.
and 2 in person, making him have 5 appearances of our 35 episodes.
Yeah, he's made up a decent chunk there.
Yeah.
By the way, I had an idea that before, because since Pete is going to be leaving the state here later, maybe this year, what I want to do is a 4-person Drunkards and Dragons episode. Me, you, Pete, and Nick, the Goose. 4-person drunkards and dragons. Not like next week or anything, but like in like the next couple months.
My dad wants to do it again.
And
too.
yeah, we'll throw your dad on there too. I'll have to find
I
more
forwarded
microphones.
I forwarded my dad all the player sheets and stuff, and I'm gonna tell him to make a character.
All right, we'll get that squared away. I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, it's been a week since we last talked. You've just been getting tattooed. I still, bought a house, but we're still not moved in yet. There's nothing really to do with it yet. It's that weird space because like.
How was signing all the stuff? Do your hand
Oh,
cramp
that's
a
true.
little bit? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of paperwork.
It was. It's a stupid amount of paperwork.
And
we
then,
had
like-
double it because we were selling, so we were signing out. We were signing away the whole house, and then we signed for the new one.
Yeah, we had it was me and Abby, and then our realtor Casey, and then across the table was
Casey's the best.
the seller, and then her realtor, and then on the end table was this guy. Forget his name, Tyler, maybe.
Trey?
And no, it wasn't Trey. We worked with Trey, but this was not Trey that was
Okay.
there. And then they, it was like they got her to sign a bunch of stuff, read a bunch of numbers. The whole time, the funny thing about that experience is the whole time you're kind of just trusting everyone else to know what's going on.
Yeah, when you're looking through those papers, I'm like, I don't have
guy's like,
I don't have
yeah,
a clue of what this means.
Just initial here, sign there. It's like, it's no big deal.
Like you could
know.
walk out of the building and they'll be like, "Here are your new uniforms."
Yeah.
And they're like,
So your shift starts now, actually.
Yeah.
So go ahead and get started.
"You have to work off this house."
Here's your baton.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just kind of sit there and it didn't take that long. It was only like a half hour, but it was like just so much initials and signatures and dates. The funny thing for me is as soon as I write the date, it leaves my head.
I
so had to
forget it
keep-
instantly. I
had to
keep checking my watch. Me too.
That's
I do that
exactly-
all the time. I will look at it and then look away and be like, "Oh yeah, what was the day again?"
Every single page I had to do the date, I had to look down at my watch. My signature changes like every time. Like if somebody was actually going through the paperwork, they'd be like, "This is clearly a different guy," because I don't do the same thing every time. I kind of mix it up. I don't really have a set signature. I'm sorry, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not doing a lot of signing.
You haven't practiced? Because like I have.
No, I only practice my parents' signature when I forge things.
So I have like a.
Not now. when
It
I
took
was
me a
little.
while. My signatures changed like 3 times. I had the cursive one you write in elementary school.
Of course.
And then I played around with it in middle school, and I got sort of one I thought was cool, really wasn't. And then high school is where high school and college, I got my
I've
signature
got like a
down.
big B, scribble, and then I kind of have an S, and then just kind of like a.
Yeah.
My hand kind of has like a seizure in the middle of it.
So I do like a D,
Yeah.
and I loop the D around like that.
Oh, that's kind
And
of fancy.
I do like the little tiny scribbles. Doesn't even mean anything.
I like how
And
signatures
then-
are nothing. They're nothing.
And then I stack the B on top and do a little thing. And I used to get fancy and try to add the A right here and have that cross through, but it looked too dumb, so I left it.
No, the signatures are literally nothing.
Yeah.
They're meaningless. It's literally just scribbles. Like if somebody
It's really hard for someone to get a forensic analyst or something, unless like you never knew that person.
I'm telling you, they never catch me because I do a different signature every time.
That's what I'm saying.
They'd
It's
have
like,
no idea.
Well, also they'd never be able to prove like that you were taken advantage of because you'd be like, well, sir, it kind of. I mean, it looks like your signature,
it's
and based
just a
on
couple
your
scribbles,
your
so.
prior history,
Yeah.
you know nothing.
And we have this house paperwork here. None of these are the same. It was a lot of paperwork, a lot of initialing, and then like anytime I'm in like a situation where I know a handshake is going to be happening at the end,
You're
my
prepping.
palms are sweating the
They
whole
get
time.
ready.
And I was wearing nice pants because we dressed
slides
up
right
nice.
off.
And exactly, we've talked about
Yeah.
like we need that sort of thing. So I was in that situation.
I need that f***ing towel that quarterbacks have
100%.
that when it's raining,
Just around my
they
waist.
towel off and then they're
Yeah.
ready to get the ball. I need that for handshake. You know what? That'd be a great fishbowl
It is a great
opportunity.
fishbowl.
Is the I don't know, like the belt towel or something
Yeah.
where you can literally like an NFL player towel off.
office quarterback or something like
Office quarterback.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, well,
and
just
on
happens.
your wrist, you
Yeah.
have all the names of everyone in the office with like pictures.
Yeah.
I was about to say when you're talking about because like I can't. I'm really bad with dates.
Same,
So like
same.
it's hard.
I never know what month it is.
and like
what
how
day
I
it is.
categorize my memories is by like the actual memory. I have a very hard time recalling the time frame it happened. So
Yeah.
Mandy called me out about the Green Day ringtone, and she was 100% right. So it wasn't 4th grade; it was 6th grade. But I had the classroom and all the people right. But she was like, "There's no way because it came out in 2004."
Oh, she did the homework.
Yeah, well, she remembers it like vividly. She's like, I remember specifically came out 2004. I was wearing
Mandy's
this.
a big Green
and
Day
that-
fan.
And I was like, okay, so I did the math back, and I was like, Mandy, you're right. It was 6th grade. So in 6th grade, Green Day went off, but like I can't do dates very well.
Yeah, because middle school I was wearing like Bullet in the Bible T-shirts and all that stuff.
But
Dookie.
I can remember faces like crazy. So if I see somebody somewhere once, odds are I can point them out again and tell you exactly where I saw them last time.
Yeah.
Like I have a very good like face memory. Like, but I
have
cannot
good face memory.
But I can't do dates.
You know what's going to be a problem? So what we're going to be doing for the 40th episode of the show is we're going to do
I'm leaking.
You are leaking. You're leaking fluids.
Gross.
You're like a dead body. And it's weird.
Dude,
but
what if they swapped out my arm with like a
cadaver
murderer's arm that had tattoos?
Arm. That already, and
what
they're
if
like,
that's how you got tattoos?
Yeah, they put you to sleep, like you don't remember, and then they literally just cut off another person's. But then how did that original person get tattooed?
I don't know. It goes back to the dawn of time.
Yeah, that's true. So on the 40th episode, we're going to do a quiz of the previous 40 words. Yeah. So that will be something special to look forward to as we're about halfway there. So let's kick off.
I guess I'll quiz you because I remember. I mean,
we'll quiz each other. We'll figure it out. We've got 5 episodes to do that. But before we get the show started, what's the thing? What's the phrase you're going to say here? The phrase is
it because we did a phrase to close out the show too. I have
people that listen.
Good idea.
People that listen to the show are, especially because like people like binge watch it and stuff. People are listen to it. People are probably so mad because they're just like, you guys say this every time. Like,
yeah. Okay. Here's this. I'm gonna do a random joke generator.
Okay. That's cool.
We're gonna do a joke.
Okay.
To open.
Okay.
Phrase to close.
Okay.
So phrase that pays is the.
You got to remember this though.
Okay. Random
joke.
Is it a random joke podcast? Oh, I just typed in random joke podcast. Sorry.
That's okay.
Generator.
All right, joke to open.
Dad joke generator.
Okay, that works. We did a dad joke contest. That was fun.
Okay, so what did the egg say to the boiling water?
I want to like actually guess here.
It'll be a minute before I get hard. I just got laid by a chick. Oh my god.
That's a dad joke?
That's a dad joke.
Oh my god. Well, on that note, let's start the show.
How about that?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Yet I've flown from one side of this galaxy to the other. I've seen a lot of strange stuff.
Arise, riders of Theoden! Spears shall be shaken! Shields shall be splintered! A sword day! A red day! And the sun rises!
Broadcasting from the porch or the basement or whatever realm hasn't banished them yet. It's the Random Word Podcast with your hosts, Ben and Salty Dalton.
Welcome in, Rando Nation. Nationwide is on your side to a episode 35 of the Random Word Podcast. You heard it here first,
I just
folks.
sign language to you the whole show.
It was perfect. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
That behind the microphone right there was Ben, and I am Salty Dalton, and we're here to take you on a podcasting adventure through the airwaves.
Hey guys, this is Dalton. That's Ben.
Okay, God damn it.
hey everybody. We should just switch roles one show.
We should switch
We should do the reverse show one time where you literally act like me and I act like you, and we kind of like do that. Try to keep it up the whole show.
That wouldn't be bad. That's
we'll
a
figure
pretty
it
good
out.
idea.
Well, thanks. This is the Random Word Podcast. It is great to have you with us. There's the fans
Live
in
studio
attendance.
Audience, and who do I spy out in the back?
Oh, there he is,
It's
the T-Man.
Terrence. Hey guys, I love it. I love the show, Die Hard.
Man, Terrence isn't looking so good. He looks a little sick.
Yeah, I got diagnosed with stage 4 leukemia. Hey, buddy, whoa. Hey, calm down, Terrence.
It's a comedy show, Terrence. You can't
can't bring us down. We're trying to ride the high
Terrence,
up, you know.
Yeah. Take your disease and get out of here. What if that's how people treated people with disease?
I used to.
That's true. They would just kind of throw them.
They had like for people that had what was it, tuberculosis?
Oh yeah.
They were called like lungers and stuff,
Yeah,
and
just
they would
throw
just
'em on
pile
the
them all
pile,
into a
yeah.
house and be like, "This is safe.
This is the cough house."
Anyone who walks in there is automatically dead.
Yeah, that's not good. It's not good.
It's wild. They used to take like cocaine and heroin for it. They'd be like, "Oh, you don't feel so well? Take some of this."
You know what will really help you is just being wildly on drugs. This is the Random Word Podcast, as Salty Dalton mentioned. Check us out on Instagram at the Random Word Podcast, and then also email us the Random Word Blog at gmail.com. I do have an email that we'll read later in the show, and a do and don'ts suggestion.
Okay.
Themed to this weekend, actually,
Finally,
for Mother's Day.
People are actually branching out.
They did a do's and don'ts for Mother's Day, and which I think is good, because Mother's Day is this Sunday,
Yeah,
which
it
you
is.
probably forgot about,
I did.
because you're not good with dates.
Yeah. Hey, I do just fine.
I'm taking my mom to see the Avengers. We're gonna go see. I saw it last weekend.
Oh, did you like it?
Yeah, it was pretty solid. Not
I
as
guess
good as the last one.
Keep this spoiler free, but
Yeah, no, we won't talk about the Avengers on the show. But
except for the fact that died, you can bleep that out.
okay. Let's get to the word, because that's the whole point.
The
which
random word is
the best part. Is I've talked to people that have listened to this show like for a long time,
Yeah.
and they just talk about how we focus less and less
On the
around
word as
and we
it
focus
gets-
more and more on our bits and like
Yes.
our segments, and it's like that's the show.
I love how it started where we were like, let's talk about this word. Use
like
it in
a half
sentence.
hour, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was just like, here's the word. Anyway, let's get
Yeah,
back
anyways,
to
let's get back to our
you need
comedy
to hear
geniuses.
my fishbowl idea.
Oh, let's do the word here. What do we
Okay.
got? What do we got?
Kick it. Kick it.
Your word is
Hypermnesia.
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 Not hypermnesia.
Is that how it's pronounced?
I don't know. I've
It's
never
like
heard this word.
amnesia, but hypermnesia. So it's, I
you're-
guess, the opposite.
So you're like really
yeah.
forgetful.
So no. It, wrong. So it's
I have deep amnesia.
so Hypermnesia. Hypermnesia.
Okay. That MN really
Yes.
screws with you.
Yeah, so definition is a noun, and it's an abnormally vivid or complete memory or recall of the
God.
past. So instead of amnesia, where you forget, hypermnesia is where you remember everything. So because and I feel like everyone has sort of those moments where, because honestly, and I've had a lot of concussions too, so my memory is just not amazing.
Yeah.
But there are some things that happen to you, and I think it depends on the circumstance. If it's very meaningful to you, it's you can remember every detail about that
100%.
particular thing.
Yeah. And for me, it's always the way when my memory will strike me is when I'm in bed. I'm about to go to sleep, and then my brain
every
will bring
time.
up a very painful, awkward
Yes.
memory, and then make me just sit in the bed, just being God, I'm such an idiot. It would be hey, remember
you
that
think
one
about
time?
what could have I done different?
God, there was one time where I confessed my feelings for a girl on the phone, and it turns out I was on speaker, and her friends were there, and they all started laughing.
That is the worst. Oh my
They
god!
all started laughing in the background.
Who did that to you?
This was early high school.
Who did that to you?
It was she did
What
that.
the
Yeah. Screwed up.
Oh my
I'll have to bleep that out. But
God.
yeah, so I'll be in bed. It'll be 11:30 or something, and I'll be drifting off to sleep, and then my brain will be hey man, remember this time?
Yeah.
And you just be God damn it, or be it will bring up weird college memories, the other time where I confessed my feelings to a girl in college.
Yeah, I remember that. That was the culmination of the Benformation.
Yeah. But then the greatest part about that was right after, fairly late after that, I met my future wife. Well, didn't meet. I knew my future wife, but I didn't think of her in that way. But then, we started hanging out and dating. So actually, it ended up being for the better.
It was.
But the experience was very embarrassing and awkward because it was a situation
Yeah, but
where I
you-
had
you
a
put yourself
rehearsed.
out there,
I had a
yeah.
rehearsed speech. I remember, and I had practiced it, and I was oh, this is gonna slay. This speech, it's gonna get her. And I remember I was sitting down, and I started kind of fumbling through it a little bit, and I was okay, wait, where am I in the speech now? And I started and I was hot, so I was starting to sweat a little bit.
Good, yeah.
And then I just remember the whole time her being oh, I didn't know this was gonna be a thing. She was clearly oh, are we just gonna hang out? And I gave the speech, and then I remember it was kind of she was kind of okay, well, it's a lot to think about. We'll just talk again sometime. And I texted you guys, and I was well, coming back to the dorm did not go well. But those are it's not all women thoughts, obviously. But I'll have just weird, awkward moments in my life where they'll just hit my
very
memory.
vivid detail, yeah.
It's not great.
No.
It's not great. But there are people, though, because then there's the question. So would you rather be able to remember every single moment in your life, or be like kind of how you are and just be very, very forgetful about most things in your life?
I guess it depends.
Because remembering everything, again, that's good and bad.
It is good and it is bad. And I mean, I guess you could make the argument that if you truly remember everything that's happened to you, you can learn from your mistakes, I guess.
Sure.
But at the same time, like if I don't know, because that's a tough one.
It is tough. Because there's people that have the
because some
the
stuff
memories.
is just like, and it's like some memories just aren't worth holding on to, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of pain and
Sure.
stuff that sometimes people should really just let go.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, they're carrying it around for no other reason than just to carry it around, I guess.
If there was 1 year, here's a question for you. If there was 1 year of your life that you could completely erase from your memory, both all the good moments, all the bad moments. Now we don't have to get into like, oh, like this isn't an emo podcast, but like if you like what year or what age would that be?
Oh, it's tough because like my worst years like led me to like the most stuff.
That's the thing.
So I don't think I'd get rid of my worst years.
Yeah,
I
feel
would
like you have
probably
to-
get rid of like a mediocre year. I'd probably do like something in elementary school.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
like I barely
You're not even
remember
a
that
person.
anyway. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had no formative thoughts. I was
God.
just like, let's go play kickball.
Just think about the life that we
probably-
were able to lead back then. It was like wake up, watch cartoons, go to school, come home, eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, hang out with your friends, kind of do homework, but not really, because homework back then was like, here's 10 math problems.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, I can easily do these because I'm smarter than the teachers know, and I'm just in the lower class because, I'm not telling anybody. And then you finish your math homework, and then it's like, all right, let me watch more TV,
Yeah.
and now
It
let
was
me
the
play
life.
video games, and let me go to bed. And
It's
it's
the
like,
life.
I get food from my family. I get a cool lunch that'll bring in a lunch box.
Now, if you were a
great
kid
life.
today, because now we're finally we're approaching 30
That's
within the next
crazy. Jesus
So
Christ.
what do you like? If we were a kid today, though, you think it would be more fun or less fun?
Now,
I think
that's a
it'd be
great
scary
question.
to be a kid today.
It's scary to be a kid today because now, like, there are so many things to be like. There were always things that are dangerous and to be afraid of, but
now
we
it's
didn't
way
know
worse.
about them.
Yeah.
because we didn't have like cell phones and like nobody was like, "Hey, did you hear on the news? Like this guy, like I showed you today a link. There was some clown in Reston Town Center that like this guy was known for entertaining kids, and it was like, yeah, he had child porn the whole time. I think the funny thing is I hear those stories all the time, and it's like, imagine trying to be in that industry and just having to like throw the disclaimer out nonstop, just being like, I do not have any
Right.
child porn. I just like the clown thing. I'm into balloon animals. I do not have
that
any
almost
child
sounds
porn.
weird. I like the clown thing.
Yeah, that's true. But we didn't know all that stuff.
No, man. I think the only time that was like a thing where I really so speaking of the Hypermnesia, September 11th. There you go. There's something like a memory
Sure.
that everyone knows. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know that jokes like, you remember where you were on 9/11?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
of course.
It's true, though.
But
Yeah.
like, so I was in Disney World.
Oh yeah,
I feel like I talked about it. Like, I was in Disney World. I can tell you all of the details about like
Yeah.
everything from I saw this Tarzan show where they were on roller skates.
Yeah.
And then we went to the Indiana Jones stunt show.
Oh,
and
I've been to
that's-
there, yeah.
That's when the plane struck.
Yeah.
So they came on the loudspeakers. We didn't get to see the Indiana Jones stunt
It's a
show.
good show.
And so they
I don't
sent
think
us-
it even exists anymore.
yeah,
so you
and
missed it.
they sent us all to our hotels, and so it was like, okay. And then I remember my parents turning on the thing, us watching it. It was
Yeah.
like this bunk bed loft thing, and
Yeah.
this. I remember so many
That's the thing.
details about that day specifically.
If somebody was like, "Do you remember September 10th,
I'd be like, nope,
2001?"
no
I have no idea.
Yeah.
No, it's wild. It's wild how that lines up.
It's weird how that works with your memories and the emotional attachment.
But
and,
then, like sometimes,
depending on where you are mentally. In
sometimes the specific events that happen, like Jesus.
that. If I
like,
hit this one more time,
yeah, but like sometimes the things we're talking about, like painful, like memories with girls or something like that, like you don't remember the date it happened. You just
No.
remember that it happened. So it's wild stuff. But memory is a definitely an interesting topic. We could literally do an entire show on it. But let's
got a lot of repressed memories. Up in here.
yeah. Let's we should do one just like super serious podcast. No, we shouldn't. I'm just
Serious
kidding.
cast.
All right, let's move on.
Serious XM radio.
A little shout outs here to
Can I
our
tell you about it?
sponsors.
That's Scottish.
Oh, that
about
was
it. Yeah.
oh Scottish.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Can I tell you about it? Does that sound Scottish?
Sure. Remember when you would go Irish?
Yeah,
That was something.
God, yeah.
It was a sight to
I
behold.
don't think we've talked about that on the podcast yet.
I don't know. But,
We'll revisit that. I'll write it down.
folks, here's the thing. You're out on just a normal walk around your neighborhood. You're walking the dogs. You're walking through your office park. And there's one thing you should be pretty afraid of, and that's snakes.
Snakes, they're scary, man. They come out of anywhere you could think of. They've sometimes even been on a plane, as
Yeah, they've
reported
been on
by
planes,
Samuel L. Jackson.
Been on planes. Any, tube, just assume a snake's inside.
Oh, yeah.
Any,
100%. Any boots? There's a snake in my boot? Where do you think that phrase
Where do you
came
think
from?
that phrase came from? Exactly. But guess what? This will be a thing of the past because there's a new invention called Snake Watch. And that is a watch, not an app. Well, it's a watch that will tell you when snakes are around. How does it do it? We're still kind of figuring that out ourselves. But for $49.99, all your snake worries will be gone because you will have the Snake Watch. And guess what, Salty Dalton? I've got a code for our listeners.
Do you?
Would you like to know it?
I would love to.
They're going to enter in RWP at snakewatch.com and get 5% off. 5% discount and an extra selection of color for the bands for the watch. So normally it just comes in black or gray.
That's awesome.
You can get yellow. You can get red, like Dalton's arm, Salty Dalton's arm right now. You can get a multitude of colors just by using the code RWP. Snakewatch.com. Snake bites will be a thing of the past. Shout out to Snake Watch.
Give me another beer, you good.
I'm good right now. But Salty Dalton, you know what's also good? We got a new sponsor.
We do. So I'll get right to it. You need something functional. You need a conversation starter.
Was this an invention we did on the show?
No.
Okay.
I just wrote this down.
I like it.
I mean, we got approached by this sponsor.
Yeah, we did.
Anyway,
We did.
right now, Random Word Podcast is bringing to you a new pioneer in the industry and the entertainment industry. It's Candy Cash. So it's edible cash.
Edible cash, okay.
Yeah, it
Okay.
looks, feels almost identical to real bills, except here's the thing: you can eat it. You can taste it. You can do whatever you want with it. It's great for party tricks. It's a good, healthy snack.
And this is legal tender.
Yes, it's legal tender. You can both buy things with this and eat it.
So it's like
so now
Nerds
you
rope,
can
but
go to
cash.
a bar and you can eat a $1 bill.
Sure. And then they're going to be like, wait, I can't.
And then they'll ask you why you ate a $1 bill, and you go, bingo, I'm in.
Well, what do the listeners get by getting Candy Cash?
So
like, why are
Candy
we promoting
Cash just recently has undergone FDA testing.
Yes, they
and
have.
therefore, this is the perfect time for our listeners to hop on board. If you go to their website, www.candycash.edu, you will find yourself on the Candy Cash website. Pick from a variety of flavors in different styles. We have American dollars, we have yen, we have rubles, we have euros. And if you enter in the promo code Cowabunga, you will get 10% off your order and
Cowabunga.
and an additional $50 edible bill.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Go ahead and eat that $50 bill. And, think of us. Think of our show when you do that. Candy Cash and Snake Watch are two big sponsors of the show. Now let's move on to a little educational segment here. And it's always a lot of fun here on the show because come on down, kids. Come on down. We do not have any child porn. Okay?
my
We don't.
God.
We're not the guy at the town center, but instead,
Do I start?
this is Salty Dalton's incredible brain explosion full body learning experience. Salty Dalton.
You just introduced it, so what do I say? Nothing?
There you go. Howdy, folks.
Great job, Jack.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Welcome in.
Thank you.
Children and
Me and-
adults of all ages.
Me and my kids. Me and my kids here. I think of them as mine. There's Clarice.
Hey, kids.
Why is Ben taking off his pants?
There's
Don't worry about it, kids.
Whoa, Dalton, it's 2019, man. We
It's
can't make those
2019.
shows.
Anyway, welcome
How are
to
we
this-
going to get to 2,000 listeners,
We won't.
downloads?
It'll stop at
Not
199.
listeners. Definitely not listeners. Yeah. God, what if it did? What if What if we hit 1999 and
What
then
if it was
you
really
and I
1 million?
are both like
What if
we're
this
done.
is like the Truman Show and we're way more popular than we know? And so
Yeah.
like this is a world designed for us.
We need like a secret login to access the real numbers.
Yeah.
They're just trying to keep our egos down.
and the real numbers are
Nobody's
like,
listening to the show. And literally
less.
everybody tunes in. They're actually watching a live stream of the show
Continuously,
right
yeah.
now. Yeah, there's cameras there and there and there.
and we set up a camera too. So
Yeah, we have a camera right there. We will possibly do some live stream on Twitch and stuff like
That
that.
might be
We'll
interesting.
figure that out.
So
what's
anyway,
going on
welcome
this
into,
episode?
Salty Dalton's incredible brain explosion.
Thanks.
Full body learning experience.
Thanks for having us.
Experience.
Yeah.
Thanks. Glad for you guys to join me today. So today, it's been a rough week for some people out there. Some people
Sure.
could be having the best week of your life. If that's the case, one, congratulations. Two,
Yeah.
sit down. This doesn't apply to you.
No, get out.
So there could be a lot of people out there thinking that their luck is just run out. They're down. They're in the pits. And I'm
In
here
the
to bring
pits.
you two people who are guaranteed to have had a worse day than you. And
Okay.
maybe that'll make you feel a little bit better. And you can sit down at the end of the day and you can say, you know what? At least I'm not this guy.
Pete Jaworski.
Pete Jaworski. And so I've got two for you. It should be pretty quick.
Okay.
So first, so the theme of today's lesson is bad luck.
Okay.
So we'll start with a man called Roy Sullivan.
Roy Sullivan.
Roy Sullivan was a great father, married man. He was a park ranger at the Shenandoah National Park.
Oh, okay.
And over the course of his life, he was struck 7 times by lightning. You know how hard it is to get struck by lightning in general? The odds of getting struck 7 times in one life are 4.15 in 100 nonillion.
Nonillion. That sounds like a reptile race from like Jupiter.
That is 100 followed by 30 zeros.
Jeez.
That's correct. 30 zeros. This man has been struck 7 goddamn times
That's
in his
insanity.
life by lightning. 7 times. So he was struck in a tower. He was in a tower doing
Okay,
something.
that makes sense.
Okay, sure. Maybe he's a little higher up.
Yeah.
He was struck by driving. Apparently what happened was it hit 2 trees and conducted through them and kind of zapped him as he drove through it.
That's wild.
That's
I wonder if
crazy.
it was just like a little like whoop. Like
Yeah,
it was just like,
then he was struck so hard that his hair caught on fire. So that was a direct hit.
Easy
That
haircut.
was like
Free haircut.
That was
to
like
be honest.
a God's got the sniper rifle out and is like, adjusting for wind.
He
and then
probably
just
looked like
absolutely fucking crushed
the
him.
guy from like Fantastic Four, like the guy Flame On.
Yeah.
And like his hair was like on
Or
fire.
like the fucking kid from Jurassic Park
Ooh,
who
yeah.
got fried. It was
Yeah,
just
that's true.
smoking.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P. Eventually, so he got struck 3 more times after that, or
Okay.
4 or something. No, 3 more times after that. So then he was like, "All right, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna retire from the park
He's like,
thing."
"Look, you know."
his heart's probably not in great shape because
Nope.
that's a lot of shocks for
a
a
lot
heart.
of shocks.
So he retired after the 6th lightning strike hit. Before getting hit for the 7th time while
I
out
forgot there was a 7th.
for trout fishing. So he's out there on the lake having a good time.
He's like, look.
A storm rolled in.
It's been a wildlife. I was a park ranger. I got to be out there in nature every day. It was a great job. There was the lightning thing. That wasn't great. But you know what? It's about at the end of the road here. I've been struck 6 times. It's unbelievable. I'm just gonna go for a little fish. I'm gonna go for a little fishing.
Like, think about those odds. Yeah, and then he's just trout fishing.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, a storm rolls in. He's not
course.
like actively. He's a park ranger. He's probably not out there in the storm on purpose.
Yeah. No.
Dude gets struck in his boat. Somehow, still f***ing survives this. Now, this is like either a cruel trick by God or like he was supposed to die the first time.
100%.
And someone's out there to make
It's
sure
that Final Destination movie.
that they finished the job.
and
Yeah,
literally he just kept defying death.
yeah. He just like he just keeps like as they just keep trying, and this the spirit's just like, dude, I don't know what else to do. I've hit him 7 times
God,
with lightning.
Do you remember those movies?
Yes.
The Final Destination movies?
I still cannot drive behind anything carrying wood.
Because like the logs came out and
my
like went
God.
through the thing.
And elevator doors?
Yeah.
Elevator doors still scare me to this day.
And then there's the ones that died in the tanning booth where it like
my
became
God.
locked and they fried, their body fried. Those movies were pretty weird. But the funny thing is I saw one on TV the other day.
Was it
and
true? The final.
and like one of the Final Destination movies. And the problem is with those movies is the acting is like so bad.
It's
the way
really
they like
bad.
communicate with each other, but the deaths are just so like imaginative. But then they started running out of ideas. They're like, yeah, this ping pong ball like goes off of the roof and then like hits this windpipe and then it goes into this person's mouth and chokes them and they die. It's like, oh, okay. Like the other ones were like lightning or like.
Well, it's but then
you
it's
know?
just it's like shock value. It's like Saw, like the Saw movies.
Yeah.
You know, a
Those are some
group
great
of writers had to sit in a room
Yeah.
and dream up. They probably just went to a prison and was like,
100%.
"Hey, serial killers, how would you do this?" Like they had to dream up those situations.
Like we've clearly had some up thoughts and we've said some up things.
Like the writers for Saw 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, there's stuff there that I would not come up with.
Absolutely not. There's one where like the key was buried in a thing full of hypodermic needles.
Yeah.
The lady had to crawl through 8 feet of needles, and I'm like, what? How did you even get these?
So much AIDS.
Yeah, anyway.
So much AIDS. So
So
Roy,
he got struck 7 times. This man survived 7 of those. And here is the capper on your perfect, terrible day.
Let me guess. Wait, hold on. Let me guess.
Okay, you can guess.
So Roy Sullivan, he's struck by lightning 7 times. He goes, you know what? You know, it's been a great life. He lives out his life happily with his family and has a peaceful slumber and then eventually passes onto the other world. And, you know, it's just a nice, wonderful experience.
Dude, you were almost there.
Yeah.
What actually happens is he dies at 71 to a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Got it. So he killed himself.
Yeah, pretty
Great.
much. That's like a nice way of
Great.
saying definitely killed himself. And like maybe the thing is he knew something that no one
Yeah.
else. Maybe he figured out the secret to
Maybe
the
the
universe.
thrill was gone. He was like, I don't think I'm gonna get hit an 8th time. It's maybe it like gets him off. Like he's like very into it. He's like, God, I just love lightning at this point.
It's like the only thing is like maybe he didn't admit it. Maybe he's out there standing with a metal rod in his hand during every
Come
thunderstorm,
on!
being like, "Let's do this thing." Like maybe he's been trying to kill himself, and
Yeah,
like
that's
eventually he's
true.
like, "Well, if God can't kill me."
You're like, Roy, you keep going up on these towers in the middle
Yeah.
of the storms. Now the car one's pretty wild because like
If you want a job done right, you gotta do it yourself.
We've all driven in like thunderstorms and stuff.
Yeah.
And like I've never
I used
really
to run
have the
around in
thought.
thunderstorms when I was little. I love thunderstorms.
You would run around around
If it was
outside.
pouring rain, I would
Yeah.
run around outside of my bathing
It's
suit.
like just your bathing suit.
Yeah, because it would be like summer
Yeah.
rain, so it'd be like a crazy, insane downpour with like thunder
There
and
goes
stuff.
the Barker kid again.
Yeah,
That
it
freaking
was
animal.
it was a weird time.
That's
But
okay.
yeah, so
Wow, Roy
guess
Sullivan,
what? If you're
R.I.P..
having a shitty day,
Yeah.
you're no Roy Sullivan.
Struck by lightning
Think about
7
the odds
times
of that.
and then killed himself.
Lightning doesn't strike the same place twice, but it struck the same man 7 times. Anyway,
God. That's like
I can't even imagine after number 3.
like I got annoyed when I had a scar over each eye because I had 2 incidents with my eyes.
that dude, he's what
7
if he's just like
times.
he's probably like twitching
Oh,
out
100%.
all the time.
Yeah.
You think if he hears thunder in the distance, he's probably like, oh no, he puts on a rubber suit.
A funny up thing would be is if you know how sometimes people try to kill themselves and it doesn't work out, like they try to shoot themselves and they like miss the
They
wrong
flinch,
part
yeah.
of the brain or something. Like what if he now up, but like what if like it took him like 3 times to actually like kill himself too?
Or he shot himself. He's on the way to the hospital
Yeah.
and gets
And then gets
shot.
hit by lightning.
Yeah, and then
Gets
that's
hit by
what does
lightning.
it. That'd be wild.
Roy
Anyway,
Sullivan.
so at least you know Roy Sullivan.
Okay, we know Roy.
Now here,
Lightning Roy. They call him.
Lightning
He's
Roy.
quick as lightning.
Yeah. And now, imagine all the burns on his body because lightning burns you as it goes through you.
If you're his friend, anytime a storm's coming, you're just like, Roy, I'm out of here.
Yeah, sorry, bud. I mean, like, I know I was your best man at your wedding, but I
cannot
gotta
be here.
go. I cannot be near you.
No chance.
So the next person, the last one of this segment,
Sure.
who possibly might have had a worse time
Then
than
Roy. Really? He was
I
hit by
think
lightning
so.
8 times.
So he was it's a Tsutomu Yamaguchi.
Okay.
He's
Relative of yours?
Yes, my cousin.
Okay, gotcha.
So he is a young Japanese man during World War II.
Not a great time to be.
Yeah. So
Japanese.
he became one of the hundreds of thousands of people caught up in the bombing of Hiroshima.
That's
so
rough,
for
that's
those of you who haven't picked up a book in
yeah,
your
you
life,
should know what that is.
The U.S. only dropped 2 atomic bombs on foreign soil, one being Hiroshima and the other being Nagasaki.
Weren't they called like Little Man or something?
And it was basically
It
like
was like a cool name.
so those
but a bad thing,
those two
obviously.
weapons were used exclusively on Japan about
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 days apart.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
So this man, he was in town for a business trip, so he doesn't live in Hiroshima. He stepped off the train when the first bomb hit, and he remembers a blinding white, extremely light white. So if you go back and you look at all these accounts of like sailors who were watching this on the sea, they had to turn around, avert their eyes, and get in the fetal position and put like some weird thing on. And some of the sailors say when that flash went off, they could see the skeleton of the man in front of them.
Jeez.
The amount of radiation that just emanated from this thing. So, so he stepped off the train. The bomb hit. He goes instantly blind.
Welcome to Hiroshima.
He's temporarily blinded for like a couple days. Damn. He's burned from radiation.
Yeah.
He lost the use of one of his ears. His eardrum just
damn.
exploded, and
Pretty
he
banged
never
up.
never
Pretty
got
banged
hearing
up.
back. So he managed to survive somehow and escape the city.
Yeah.
So I guess he was just far enough away. So he's getting the hell out of Dodge. He made it to his home, which was Nagasaki.
Oh no!
Days later,
No.
this guy shows up.
Oh no.
And he's literally goes into his office and is explaining to his boss
my God.
what just happened when the second fucking atomic bomb dropped.
No.
This dude got burned again. He got burned, radiation sickness, blinded.
Oh my God.
Like he literally left one city that blew up, went home, and got wrecked by another one.
Oh my God. So here's
He's probably one of the only people. There's probably like everyone else who was around him both times. I'm sure survived at least for a little while. But like, imagine that fucking luck.
So here's the situation. I'm the boss. You're Tsutomu. So Tsutomu, you've been. I heard there's. You know, I saw where I almost can't take this seriously. It's so terrible. So Tsutomu, you just went through.
What?
Oh yeah, sorry, you can't hear me.
God.
Turn your head.
Yeah.
So Tsutomu, I heard about what happened in Hiroshima. Wild stuff.
Sir,
Wild stuff.
the biggest bomb I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really?
Just went off, and it's
how
insane.
are
So
you
like
doing?
that's why I was like, I feel terrible.
Yeah? Pretty bad?
I just got out of the hospital, and I wanted to come here to tell you in the.
Wait, do you see that out the window?
Oh my!
Oh, that's this. Okay,
God.
this isn't gonna be good.
Just like, so while they're having discussion, the other one goes off. So he gets blinded, burned. He gets radiation
So
sickness.
he didn't die.
He did not die.
Wow.
This guy's still alive. So after all of that, I guess he sort of recovered. He always had the radiation. He became a dock engineer and then a prolific activist for the fight against nuclear weapons.
Makes sense. It's not like he was
Right.
like, these are great. I
And
love nuclear weapons.
And he died in 2010.
Wow, good for him,
So,
man.
I mean, that's like a
Props.
good, like 70, 80 years. And
God.
could you imagine?
Both bombs.
And like to go home and be like, oh, is here too?
Do you think like everywhere he went at that point, like
He was
any trip
always-
he
yeah.
went to, he was always just on edge? So it could happen at any time. They're like, dude, that was like 40 years ago. Like, you're going to be okay. He's like, no. I'm in Cleveland. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So
Tsutomu.
if you're ever having a bad day,
Jesus.
at least you're not Tsutomu Yamaguchi or Roy Williams. So thanks again for listening in to an exclusive segment called Salty Dalton's Incredible Brain Explosion Full Body Learning Experience. That's all, folks.
We just end the show right there.
That's done.
No, it's not. Oh, wait, whoops. No, yeah.
Oh my God,
No,
I'm
this
not
is
ready.
the right segment.
I'm
Here
not
we
ready.
There we go.
Wait for it. Wait. Welcome to Fishbowl.
It is time for the bowl of fish.
Bowl of Fish, where we take great business opportunities and we basically turn them to liquid gold in front of our very eyes. Blub, blub, blub.
I wish I made the bubbles go for like 3 minutes.
Just nonstop.
Yeah, Fishbowl. This is honestly our real call to fame here, because I think we are the only people doing this besides the show Shark Tank, which we're not ripping off of, so they can't sue us because it's called Fishbowl, not Shark Tank. So you can't sue us.
Free Capital or something?
Oh, is there another show that does that too?
No,
Free Capital.
like,
Yeah. It's all Free Capital.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Can't touch us, man.
Free the capital. So Fishbowl, we're gonna pitch some inventions here. I do have one. I hope you have one as well.
I have two.
Ooh,
so
interesting.
We'll see which one.
Okay. Do you want me to go first or second?
I feel like I went first last time.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first.
I'll go first here. That will give you more time to think of between the two that you have.
I don't know. They're both pretty good.
All right. I'm here. Fish. I'm ready to pitch.
Let's do it.
Swing and I miss.
Stretch.
So this is an app where it's kind of, so we've talked about food and traveling and things like that before, but this is something a little bit different. You're in your hometown or you're traveling to another town, and here's what it is. This is an app that's where specifically people post pictures of the meal or the food from the restaurant. There's no commenting, there's no long-winded explanation. It's just, here's the food, here's a rating out of 5, and the app is called Eat Up. Not Meet Up, Eat Up. And so basically you go on this app. I look at restaurants in my area. Let's say it's a restaurant. I'm about to move to Chantilly. I look at the restaurants in Chantilly. I click a restaurant.
Run out of time, Fish.
All the pictures of the food that people have ordered at that restaurant that are part of this app group, and I can see clearly what that's going to look like. And I see their specific rating. There's no giant Yelp 2 paragraphs. It's just picture, rating, Eat Up.
So, Fish, you ran out of time a little bit ago.
No, I
so
didn't.
I'm not going to be able to include this part of your...
No.
So,
it's all included.
For me, it ended at whatever you were saying.
No. It's all included. We're all here as human beings speaking, and fish.
So, if I understand you correctly, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
I will.
But I'm not wrong. So, this is so basically, it's an online menu that has reviews on the specific menu items.
Yeah,
per restaurant.
Because here's the thing: when you go,
so you get to see a realistic
picture
picture instead of like,
exactly.
You know what a Burger King Whopper looks like.
Because here's the thing,
and what a real Whopper looks like is like a night and day.
So you can go online, you can go to Yelp, Google reviews, whatever, and you'll read about people's experience at the restaurant. They may mention the food a little bit, but you're not really usually not getting like images of the food. This is simple. You just go on the app. Oh, here's the Arby's in Manassas.
What if no one's eaten there before?
Well, then it won't be on the app, but the community will grow. You join the Eat Up community, free to join. There's ads and
so
stuff.
So it's called Eat Up?
Eat Up.
Eat Up.
Eat
okay.
Up.
I like word. It. It seems like a...
So it's like a menu.
It looks like an add-on, basically, for Yelp. I feel like there's a lot of business potential in sort of selling this to Yelp, having the function of...
Sure, we've had some initial conversations.
So basically, like, because like, it would be nice to be like, okay, this restaurant's got a 3-star rating, right? But you dive into the menu, and they actually have something that's actually like a 4-star.
Exactly.
The rest of it's dragging the rating down. So maybe you could find a hidden gem on the menu itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, that's what I like to know is be like, okay, yeah, maybe the restaurant might not be like a 5-star restaurant. That's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
As long as they have passable customer service. But if the food is good enough, I'll eat anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
I do like it. It has a lot of merit. I'll probably go 3 stars.
You said 4, right?
3, yeah.
No, yeah.
Closer to 3 than 4. I believe it'd probably be on the lower end of 3 to 4.
4 works for me. All right, so that's Eat Up. I think it's great. I think you undersold it a little bit. Having a virtual menu is fantastic.
All right, Fishes.
Your turn.
I'm not here to waste your time. I'm here to make you money.
Appreciate
That's
that.
right. Money. Listen,
money.
Ever since the dawn of caveman, where we have captured fire, where we have captured light in our bare hands.
Our bare hands.
We've done a lot. We've done a lot of things with that. We've created torches. We've created flashlights. The evolution chain has begun.
Torches and flashlights.
But
Flashlights don't have fire.
Well, the concept.
Sure,
of it.
sorry.
We're shedding light.
Yeah.
I'm coming to you with shoe light. It's a wearable flashlight attachment for your shoes. So basically, we've seen headlamps. We've seen people running with headlamps. But where you need the light is not on your head. You need it on your feet. You need to see where you're stepping, where you're going. It can illuminate snakes that you wear with the snake watch. It can illuminate any kind of threats. It can show you your footing. I'm here to bring you Shoe Light, the newest in flashlight technology for your shoe. Tread lightly.
Now, this is interesting.
Get it? Tread lightly?
Yeah, I get it.
I thought that was amazing.
Yeah. I will say this is pretty interesting because the first thing we do when we're walking in the dark
Shine your
is
light
you
at
take
your
your
feet.
light on your iPhone and you hit the button and then you shine it down at your feet.
That's what I'm
Exactly
saying.
right.
And like, I get the headband thing, but guess what? Your eyes always have to be angled towards the ground. They're not able to be angled up, ready for combat.
Yeah, you need to have them ready for combat.
With this attachment on each thing.
How big is the attachment?
So what it is basically it's just right now it's a little you know where your laces would be?
Yes, I do.
It's a little. It hooks onto your laces. And it shines outward, so it's basically like too many headlamps.
So like those old pumps shoes where you would like
Yes.
you'd press the
where
pump.
you hold on, you gotta pump
it up.
pump it up. Yeah, so you wear the flashlight, so you turn them on. I would like to
Is there one on each foot?
think of it like a car has headlights, right?
Uh-huh.
There's one on each foot. Those are the headlights for your body. So it's illuminating the ground. You now know where you're stepping. You're not going to worry about tripping. And now you can focus your attention to maybe shining a flashlight somewhere else. Or maybe you don't even need one. If it's bright enough, you can just walk in comfort. And guess what? When you run, your path will always be illuminated.
Well, so the running thing's a little different because your feet kind of angle down while you run.
Yes, but one foot will, generally speaking, you'll have the ray of light always going.
Now, the problem is, I feel like cars, like if you're running along the road, you're like, there's just lights going all over the place. The car's like, what's happening over there? And like maybe you blind the driver in an accident. Or what if you run like a duck, and you kind of like suddenly the lights are like crossing each other. And
right, so we have what's great about this technology?
I like to play devil's advocate here.
Well, no, I'm glad you asked this question because this is something
Sure
that our focus group has had to think a lot about.
Yeah, I bet they have.
And so basically, much like if I'll use this as a prop.
Okay.
This is the light. Okay.
Yeah.
It has
Salty Dalton's holding a beer bottle and the cap on top of the beer bottle.
And I'm introducing this to you, proprietary information. It has swivel technology where the light can actually be oriented based on your running style.
Similar to our camera.
Similar to our camera, you can turn the light however you'd like before you start running or walking, so you can get maybe you're worried about your left side more. How about you shed more light on your left side, angle those puppies to the left, and you now can walk knowing what's on your left side.
Okay.
It's incredible technology.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I will say there's not a lot to make here.
Just touched it.
So I'll go ahead and give you 4 stars on this one. I think it's one of your best.
Do you want to hear my other one?
Yeah, just throw it out there. Yeah. What is it?
Put on the music.
Oh, God. Here we go. But I'm going to fast forward like 30 seconds.
New from Mattel, we bring you Monster Bed. Negative reinforcement for those problem children. It's an interactive bed frame complete with monster noises, movement, disembodied arms, and preset phrases. Now, if your kid is acting up, send them to their room and say, "Watch out for the monster under your bed." And they'll be like, "That's not real, Mom." And then the bed goes, "Oh, it is." Now you have a disciplining, corrective device for your kids at night. Monster Bed. What are your thoughts?
So I'm really glad you went with the other one.
This one's pretty good, though.
The problem with this one is as soon as the kid realizes that the bed is just rigged with monster stuff, you just spent like thousands of dollars.
Listen.
And the bed is kind of useless at that point.
Let me tell you this. So if you use this appropriately, the kid is going to be too scared to actually find out if there are monsters. And guess what? Any kid they bring over to be like, "Hey, dude, trust me, there's an actual monster in my room." They're gonna have a sleepover, right? They're gonna try to figure out what's the game here.
When I slept over at kids' houses, I didn't sleep in their bed.
I mean, you slept in their room, right?
Now we'd usually sleep in like the basement or something.
Well, yeah. But like, actually,
Hey boys, let's pile on in my bed. There's monsters in it.
do you want to hear a super embarrassing story?
Sure.
Okay,
Always.
dude. Okay.
So if it's too bad, we'll cut it. But
This is this is again. I'm bad with the days. It was definitely elementary school, and I
Sure.
want to say it was It had to have been like. It had to have been like second grade.
sure.
There's this guy named Colin Keys
Okay.
who I was like sort of friends with, lived in Reston, and I sleep over at his house one time, and I had this really weird anxiety about like we slept in his room, so like I was in a sleeping bag, he was in his bed,
Yeah, yeah.
like so he was just like living it up. I'm on the ground,
Yeah, the
so I'm
worst.
like, and then so it's a house I've never been in.
Mm-hmm.
It's late at night. I've never been upstairs. We spent the entire time in the
Yeah,
basement.
you don't go to a friend's house
and
and,
then
like,
we
hang
go
out in
up
your
into
room.
there. So I have no idea what room's what. I have to
Oh,
go to the
no.
bathroom so bad. I try to hold it for hours, and then like what I did was just like pee a little bit at a time, and like
In your pants?
in the sleeping bag. Yeah.
Oh
Like,
no!
And in the morning, I was
What?
like miserable and super quiet, and like, dude, I peed in that sleeping bag, and like, I fucking just,
Oh my god!
I left. Like, I didn't know what to do.
Was that his sleeping bag?
I don't know. I don't know.
It was
because
burnt.
Because we got out,
Yeah.
I got changed. Everything was normal. Like, it didn't
got
smell like
changed.
pee in his room. But like, someone had to roll up that sleeping bag later, and when they did, and you know, I never got invited back over there again.
Yeah,
but, like,
that's probably what
I
happened.
was so scared because like it must have been. It probably wasn't even second grade. It was like I was still scared, kind of the dark at that point, because like we were really young.
Yeah.
But like I
A
was
new
just like,
house, different house. Yeah.
and I was just like, I don't know where the bathroom is. I don't like. I'm gonna walk into a random room. I was like, I can hold it. I can hold it. I can hold it. And then all
Because
of a
like
sudden,
you
I
don't
was
want
just
to
like,
think you're going to the bathroom and it's like, oh, there's his mom and dad.
Yeah.
And like, what are they doing in there?
And so I was just like,
Yeah.
boom. But like, I have never.
That's
told
pretty
that-
bad.
I've never said that before. I peed in a sleeping bag. Anyway,
not
yeah.
fun.
So monster bed, I think is like, because you can basically
Yeah.
like pre-program it to scare your kid. No,
No,
No.
I'm not a fan of that one. But the other one,
Shoelight?
Shoe Light's pretty good.
Shoe light is pretty.
All right, let's keep the creative juices flowing here. It's time for Pilot House. Oops.
Roll 'em. Action. Cut! Cut! Cut!
Stop breaking the microphones. You know what? I'm not leaving them here. I'm not leaving them here because you're just gonna like walk around and break them. It's time for Pilot House. It's our chance to pitch some TV show pilots, people.
That's right.
So, the way this works is exactly what it sounds like. We've got some TV show pilots. We've come up with some pretty good ones so far. I will say we've hit some home runs in the early goings of Pilot House.
We go back and forth. We kind of flesh it out.
Yeah.
Some ideas, like I have concepts that need to be tweaked a little bit.
Sure,
and
that's what I have today. I don't have a fully fleshed out idea.
I've got two quick bullets, and
Sure.
I think they could be something, but
All right,
it's our job
Let's dive in.
to go into the mind and figure out what's gold and what's
Since you
not.
have two, why don't you start with one, then I'll give mine, then you'll go with your second here. So give me one of the two.
First one, working title, Super Spy.
Okay.
So you take people off the street, or it could be like they apply or something like that,
Okay.
to see if they can break into a building or steal some sort of document.
Oh, yeah.
Basically like espionage. So like, granted, like, so you have like this building, and this building's an office building, and you have to get to the 10th floor without being questioned, or like you have to naturally get there. You have to go to this certain office, steal this document.
Now, is everything like everybody in the building's actors? Like nothing's real?
So everyone is actors.
Yeah.
No one knows that. So they're all operating like a normal business would. So like, you're not going to say anything unless something looks suspicious.
Sure.
And you know who works there and who doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So this person is going in there knowing that they have to do this stuff.
Yeah.
And the rest of the people are all actors who have no idea this person is even a part of this thing.
Yeah, they've just
So-
been told, hey, we're shooting an office
So
scene.
you have to
just-
do
yeah.
all this stuff, and you have to try to get this accomplished without anybody noticing. And the second you're discovered, you lose, and your progress is tracked. So maybe there's like 3 people that give a shot at it.
Yeah.
The one who gets farthest wins or moves on to the next thing. And if you successfully like get out of the sorry, my glasses.
What are you doing? Okay.
So if you manage to get the stuff out,
Sure.
you get like the title of Super Spy.
Okay.
and-
No, I like this.
So I
'Cause-
think it'd be cool, like,
Oh, that's going to be tough to put your headphones back on. I think because what you do is you tell the actors, hey, look, we're shooting B-roll for this commercial for this office company. Just do office things. There's nothing like, just this is like, just go around, we're acting like this is an office.
Right.
And then you basically just like have, maybe a camera crew there or something.
One step further, how about you go to like the CEO of the company?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a random company, and they go like, yeah, we won't. They know about it, and they're like, here, go for it. And that way they follow their own company protocol. So like if you're wandering around in a space you're not supposed to be, or if you're not blending in, so this person, maybe they get like an hour of prep time.
Okay.
Where they get to know like they get like a list and pictures of like managers and like some other stuff, and like their starting thing is like they get a badge to get in the doors or something, and then they have to like they can stash stuff so they can put so I could be like, hey, as part of my thing you get like three stashes.
Okay.
So I'd be like, I want a janitor's outfit on the second floor bathroom in the last stall, so they get a layout of the building.
Smart.
So then if they get in there and they get to the second floor and no one seems to bat an eye, because I mean it's an office place, you can probably walk around anywhere. They go put on the janitor's outfit, then they go up to the 10th floor, go to that office, pretend to empty the trash, steal the document.
The things you can do dressed as a janitor.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, so it could be something like that where they get a couple
like could you, like if somebody walked into your building wearing a janitor now I know yours is a little different, but like would you be able to pick your janitor out of a lineup?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's what I'm saying is like even in like my circumstance,
buildings with like higher security.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, like there's
that
protocols in place to make sure, like the janitors in real life, like they have to have the right badges and stuff like that.
Ours has an escort that walks with them everywhere, but like at the same time, escorts never like looking that hard. If they go into an office that's not occupied, come out with a trash can. If they've taken anything else, no one knows.
Yeah, because the escort's not literally like this following them through every step of the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like this.
I think it'd be interesting, right?
I like this because
so like there's still work to be done, but you could maybe get like power ups or something where you hide not weapons, but like you hide stuff that helps you, and if you can get to it, it might be better or worse. Or you can walk in with a suitcase full of stuff, but if you have to go through an X-ray,
I like it especially for like the one guy that's like kind of like seeing some of this happen. Like, and it's kind of like solving the mystery, kind of like he's just a random, guy that works on like the 5th floor. He's like, wait, that's not the janitor, Ronald.
And he'll,
and then
that'd be perfect. And then if he doesn't decide to say something, that's just how society is.
And then like the CEO
maybe it's
fires
not my
him.
business. Yeah. So
no, I like this. I like that.
Okay. What's yours? What's your
so
concept?
the only one I have right now, I mean, the only kind of the starting point here is the sentence I wrote is kids in adult jobs. So what happens is
what
you take a 4th grader, 5th grader, and you put them into like an already established role at like a company, like marketing director or like sales guy or something like that, and they have to do like the duties of. Like no one's really going to help them. Someone's like, here's the things
that actually might be kind of
here's
funny.
the things you have to do. Like, okay, you have to make these like 20
Cold
sales calls.
Yeah.
You have to do. We're working on this new design for
you have to lead
this
a
car.
budget meeting.
Yeah, you
Here
have
are
to
the
like
slides.
you have to design the marketing logo for this new company we're working with. So you make the kid have to, and then you have cameras.
What's the age that we're talking about? So they have to be cognitive enough to be like, I know what I'm. Like, I know what you asked me to do.
Yeah, so
like,
we're talking like 5th grade. We're talking like 4th or 5th grade to make it even funnier because they'll be like they'll have no idea what they're doing.
Okay.
But they'll have enough. They're old enough where they can like speak, and
read.
So what we do is we take every episode. You take a kid and just a random kid that you have to sign up. Their parents are all sign off on it, and you put them in that scenario, and basically you just see how long they can last.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Without being they have the ability, and they're told like if you like want to stop, you just have to say this like certain word or something like that, and then you'll be done. And the goal is to see how long the kid can last in that particular position, like can they last the full like half hour and like literally like not want to like lose their minds.
The employees have to treat them like a regular
exactly
employee.
Like if they're doing a bad job, like their boss will call them in and yell at them like as if they were an adult.
Okay, I like that.
And the kid's like, this sucks, like I hate this, then they'll say the word, they're out, and it's kind of a competition to see which kids can. If the kid can last all the full half hour, he gets like some prize, like something like that.
Or maybe make it like it's got to be like a full work day.
Yeah,
because
like
that's like an 8 hour.
Yeah, well, the show is only like a half hour, but it will be. They have to last. If they can last from 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 or whatever, then they get the prize.
Some kind of prize. Okay, I like that. That actually could be pretty funny.
I don't know a name for it yet. There's got to be some good ideas. I was trying to think of something to play off of, like instead of 5th grade or 8th grade or 12th grade, I was like the 13th grade.
Honey, I
something
Shrunk
like
My
that.
Coworker.
But like I don't know, something something in that realm. We'll
I like that.
I
think that could be pretty.
Because it would be like a funny show. Because imagine a 5th grader having to like do cold calls, like "Hello, sir, would you like to buy this product?" And then being like,
it sounds like a kid.
Like, excuse me, are you a child?
Yeah. And like the boss is like treating them, be like, "Hey, I need this report filled out.
I asked you to do this morning. You still haven't sent me like the business plan
the
for this
have
quarter."
To be like really, and like it has to function like a regular office. I think that could actually be pretty funny. I like that idea a lot.
Okay, good.
I didn't initially at first, and then now I'm on board.
Okay, good.
I would watch.
I'm glad I won you over with the pitch. Yeah. All right, what's your second one?
So my second one is it's a short one. It's called. I just put what's in your pocket.
Okay.
Or what's in your backpack or something. But so whenever I'm like. It's kind of like when you pack for stuff and you put like random stuff in there. 'Cause it's like, what if?
I've got like weird stuff in this backpack that like there's no use for it. It's just taking up space. I'm never going to use it.
In your car, in the glove box or something?
Yeah.
It's like
I've got like weird bills in there that have like already been paid.
This
and
could
they're
be
just
someone
sitting
who's wandering around the streets of New York or something. And they will be like, they'll say, "Hey, what's in your pocket?" And they'll go like, "What?" And be like, "All right, we're doing a game show.
Yeah.
If you have this item on you right now, you get cash money." And so it'll be like something weird. Be like, "Do you have a paperclip?" And like people don't just pocket paper clips, but if you had a paperclip on you, they'd be like $50.
It's like items that is in the realm of possibility of you maybe having, but not something like it's not going to be like, "Hey, do you have a credit card on you?" Like it's going to be something that's like kind of weird, or like do you have a bottle cap? Yeah, bottle cap.
If you have a bottle cap, and like certain things are worth certain money, and then like if someone actually,
do you have a red pen on you? Like that sort of thing. Yeah.
And so be specific, not too wild. The ones worth a ton of cash will be really strange. Like, do you have a gas station receipt in your back pocket, or like, do you have a Monopoly piece on you?
Yeah.
And there's someone around the world who has like a trinket or something.
And you could do this,
or scissors, or something weird because it's on your body, so it could be in your backpack or something like that. So you have to reasonably think about like some weird items people might carry, and that would be like the $10,000 prize.
And it could be like a daily show on like social media where people can tune in like on the app or whatever like that and watch a live stream of the guy, like the host, being like, "All right, we're going in New York City," and like he doesn't tell what location they are, and then he goes up, so people can actually tune in and watch this and try to like, if you can kind of spot him one day or like try to get on that sort of thing. But it's a daily thing you hop on, so that way they can make money off of advertisements.
You could even like vote on what items to look for and stuff like that.
It's crowdsourced for 3. They give them like 3 options every show, and the crowd can has to tune in. They make that option, and then he's like, "All right, this is the one." And then like he goes finds a random guy. Do you have?
And so
that?
It doesn't have to be like $1 million and stuff. You'd be it'll just be like $50 or $100, and be like, "Guess what? You had a purple pen on you. Here's $100. Have a good day."
Yeah.
And so it'd be kind of like Cash Cab, but it's just like it. You get that. You get the money right up front if you happen to have it. If you don't, they just sprint and move on and find someone else.
Yeah, you should either find somebody else.
It's basically like a yes or no thing, and then if you whip
it out, like they try 3 people or something that day, and if nobody gets it, nobody gets it. Like the prize money
5 to
goes
10 minute
up.
segment,
the prize money goes up the more days they don't find somebody that has that item.
So one item someone might have, and then it resets back to normal. But if you've been looking for a like a Hulk keychain, for like weeks, that thing could get up to like $2,000, and the second someone has it, it's just like
it'd be pandemonium. That would be awesome because more and more people are tuning in every day to see Like it's been like 3 weeks. Nobody's had like a purple pen or whatever. And then like so because the app can get money off of advertisements and stuff like that for the amount of views they have.
I think
so
that'd be
I like this a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Because you could take that beyond just television and utilize social media. Like
it would
the big craze with
live stream it, yeah.
which HQ Trivia, the big craze with that, it would be like kind of like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I like it.
It'd be like
these. God, if like these are great ideas.
It's gold. It's great.
Oh man! All right, so those are our TV show pitches. It's funny because like I feel like our pilot show episode or things are. Oh, excuse me. That's my car.
Ones, like
are like better and like more thought out than our fishbowl ideas.
Yeah, 100%.
We've been doing fishbowl longer, to be fair. At some point, we're gonna run out of TV ideas. But time to get into little do's and don'ts.
Do it!
God, my eardrums.
Do it!
I don't
Think so.
Just do it!
Welcome into another installment of do's and don'ts, where we take everyday situations and give you a little bit of guidance, kind of nudge you in the right direction of what you should probably try to do and what you should probably try to avoid doing.
We do, and we don't. And for this episode, again, I think I mentioned earlier, we do have a guest submission for do's and don'ts. It goes along with what is happening this Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to those mothers out there. And so let's start with that. A do and a don't for celebrating Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. Okay.
And this can be, some people who have like wives that have kids and stuff like that. Like you can celebrate Mother's Day with them. But just in general, let's just use the scenario of like you and your mom and celebrating Mother's Day. If you have a mom. If you don't, then Mother's Day is probably pretty bad, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's,
sorry.
How do we back this conversation out of what the
I don't know. Oh God. All right. Mother's Day. So let's give a do and a don't for Mother's Day.
Let's see. A do for Mother's Day would probably be treat your mom nice.
Sure.
I'm just kidding. You should probably treat her nice.
Yeah.
But always carry around a photograph of when you were little with your mom, because if you run into a situation where you have no gift, or it blindsided you, maybe you're like me, and if I didn't have Ashley or someone around to tell me what day is what day, I would be at a loss. And you know what parents love is when their kids treasure moments with them. So if you whip out the picture, they'd be like, hey, I didn't have time to get this framed, and you slide it across the table, they're going to be like, oh my God, this means so much to you. This is amazing. And they're gonna eat it right up.
This is really good. I think because you're right. Photographs, no matter what the gift is, if you give them a photograph of you and them, it works out well. Mine is for the people out there that may have forgotten a gift. Let's say you look at your calendar, you go, oh crap, it's Mother's Day. I forgot to get a gift for my mom. I don't have a card. What am I going to do? Here's what you're going to do. Go around your house, find some simple household items, like maybe some paper clips or some rubber bands, and make a little like necklace or bracelet. and then here's what.
Mom, here's a necklace.
Here's what you're
paper clips.
You're gonna say, Mom, I actually made this for you when I was 7. And I just found it in storage. I don't know if you remember.
God. Wow.
But I just found this.
You're going to play that angle. You son of a bitch.
I'm not saying I would do this.
That's amazing. Oh my God.
And you go, Mom, I found this. I was cleaning up in my storage, and I found this bracelet I made for you when I was 6. I think I gave it to you and you forgot, or whatever. Maybe play the guilt game and be like, hey Mom, do you remember when I gave this to you as a kid? And the mom's not going to obviously remember because you never gave it to her. And then you can say, well, here you go, Mom. Here's the gift for you for Mother's Day. Long overdue, you can say. So that would be my do for those people that may have forgotten a gift. Is you could just built-in guilt trip. Hey, I gave this to you when I was 6.
That's
that
is devious.
Make sure you put like a little post-it note and write like "mom" in bad handwriting on it.
You gotta crumple it up, yeah. Or
rub some dirt on it.
Oh my God, that's sinister.
I am not doing that.
That's sinister. That's
just
so
an idea.
Great.
It's an idea. What's a don't?
Don't be afraid to give cash to your parents.
Yeah, sure.
Because guess what?
They spent a lot of money.
They spent 20 odd years giving you money that you didn't question where it came from. So if you're thinking that a gift card might not be too personal or it's too like impersonal. It doesn't seem like it's got heartfelt value behind it. Guess what? They've gotten like paper mache cards and like Ben was saying, homemade necklaces. Made out of macaroni since you were like 6. And if you gave them a $50 Amazon card, they're going to be like, nice.
Yeah.
And they're going to use it and they're going to love it. So do not be afraid to give money back to your parents.
That's good. I like that. So there's a trend and sometimes people I've seen on social media where they'll find a picture of them and their siblings when they were young, and then they'll recreate the picture when they're older and try to find like the same outfits and stuff like that. And like, that can be pretty cute. But there's a couple people online that take it a little too far where they'll find a picture of like them and their siblings like in the bath, and then they'll try to recreate that picture, and these are like naked like 30-year-old men and women, and it's kind of messed up. So I would say don't do that. If you're gonna kind of do that specific recreation photograph, don't make it weird and creepy, like being in the bathtub and stuff like that.
And they're actually like, that's 100%.
Yeah, that's what sometimes. So if you're gonna do that, it has to be very
It's gotta be
bathtubby.
like,
it's got to be like
even if it is in the bathtub, wear your human clothes.
Yes.
And be like, look, it's the same.
I've seen it on social media.
Or wear an adult diaper. No, that's still kind of weird.
Yeah, no, don't do anything with diapers.
Yeah, but like some of them are funny, like where they're like in a high chair and spaghetti, and like you see a grown up in a high chair.
But like
and spaghetti
I definitely
on their face.
saw one where it was like, oh, there's a brother and sister naked in a bathtub, just like they were when they were kids. It's like, no. So don't do that. Don't be creep. Don't be weird on Mother's Day. Be a nice person.
Yeah, don't be weird on Mother's Day.
Don't be weird.
Don't be a weirdo.
All right. Here's let's do do's and don'ts for finding a roommate.
Okay. Let's see. It's tough out there.
Sure.
Especially if it could be college, because college is probably one of the first times you're going to experience living with another roommate.
Yes.
And we were incredibly lucky in our living situations where like
later on, yes.
A roommate's always going to get on your nerves, but like if you can live well together, you're
my
set.
freshman year roommate, not the greatest.
Oh yeah, we had a great floor. Yeah. You did not.
No.
So finding a roommate can be hard, especially when you get out of college, because guess what? If you're not, even then, like my wife and I didn't move in together until several years after college because we wanted to,
Well, not several years.
Yeah, it's like 3 years, 2 years.
Yeah, okay, you said several. Several means several.
Oh, sorry. So, like, if you're not in a committed relationship or you don't have plans to do that right out of college, there is no rush. You find someone to live with. If you want to go out there on your own, make it big.
So what's to do for that? What do they do as an adult? You're out of college. You're looking for a roommate.
When you're trying to find a roommate, you're probably going to go to. They have different roommate websites. It's like Roommate Finder and stuff like that. It's basically like a Tinder for roommates. But you might even Craigslist is a great go-to. Yeah. But the thing is, you need to make yourself seem way more interesting than you are, because no one wants, as much as they say like, oh, I just want a roommate that doesn't give me trouble. It's like we've all seen the sitcoms. Everyone wants a roommate that's interesting, that catches your attention. It's kind of like if you're trying to buy stuff.
Yeah.
You see advertisements. It's flashy. It's hot. It's big.
Yeah. You need to be marketed to.
You need to market yourself.
Yeah.
So you need to spice up yourself in the best way possible. Make yourself seem interesting. Maybe you like summited Mount Everest twice. You do all this other stuff, volunteer work, whatever you need to do to make yourself seem more appealing.
I like
this. Needs to be a better profile than you would do one for dating, because this is someone who's going to co-pay rent with you. Okay, you're not going to go out and take on dates. This is a big deal. So make yourself seem as interesting as possible.
So mine is kind of on a similar route, but I would say in your postings, actually put all the quirks that people don't like about you in your posting, so that way you can get it all out of the way. So you can be like, I snore.
By the way, this and this.
Sometimes at night I pee in a sleeping bag. It goes back to something when I was a kid. I don't know why.
I told you that in confidence.
And you could just be like, I really like spicy Indian food. Like you could like say, you could put in all these things. So that way, if somebody still wants to live with you after reading that, that's a good fit.
They're in it. Yeah. They're going to be like, okay, I do this stuff too.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that one.
Sure. So mine's like the opposite of yours. Instead of marketing yourself positively, market yourself as negatively as possible, and if someone still wants to live there.
Maybe the best option here is combine both and be like, this is what I'm good at doing.
Here's the negatives.
This is what I don't do that often.
Yeah, live with me.
Let's see.
What's a don't?
A don't. Let's see. This goes for yeah. I'm just gonna say it. Don't play an instrument, man.
Yeah, don't.
I'm sorry. Like, just don't play an instrument.
Nope.
Maybe you're sick at guitar.
Give it up.
Or maybe you're great at playing
Unless
the
you're in
oboe.
a band right now or on American Idol, just give it up.
Unless, like, your day-to-day activities involve you playing an instrument, please don't bring that into the house. Because, like, I get it. It'll seem kind of novelty at first. And they'll be like, oh, wow, sweet, you play. But, like, it will get annoying. And it will get loud.
Yeah.
And you might find yourself without a roommate after a short amount of time. So if you're going to play an instrument, don't play one, or play one on your own time, not inside the house.
And make sure, if you do play an instrument, don't have somebody record you singing a song natively about their boyfriend and then have it reach their boyfriend. You remember that? When I sang that song drunk?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Because one thing I used to do in college,
so great.
in the Golden Zone, was I had a guitar, and I would get drunk, and I would make up songs.
We called it the Golden Zone. So what happened is, so Ben would get, if Ben got, like, drunk enough, so, like, people talk about, like, Golden Zone, it's like where you just all of a sudden are just at a creative peak. Yeah. Ben would rhyme and sing songs impromptu on his guitar. They were incredible, and like none of us thought to record it except for that one time, but it was just like it was magic.
They would just be like funny humor songs making fun of people.
We would watch it and be like blown away because we'd be like, this is crazy.
Like
how
Mozart.
does he do this? It was like he just entered a trance and like everything would rhyme and make sense and be really funny.
And one recording got back to somebody's significant other who I made fun of in the song. Jokingly, like it was all in fun. It
was in good
taste, but it was bad. I was on their bad list for a while.
Yeah, they were not a fan of you. But
no,
it worked out for the best because he was not a very good person.
Exactly. So it's all fine. My don't for finding a roommate is this: don't move in with somebody until you do a test run. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to tell them, look, if I know you want to live here. I want you to live here too, but we need to see if we're simpatico like at nighttime. So what you're going to do is you're going to go maybe get a hotel or go stay with them wherever they're currently staying and spend one night in not in the same room, but like sleep on the couch or sleep somewhere in there. So you're test driving the roommate scenario. So maybe what you do is
it's like the airport test.
Maybe what you do is you get an Airbnb for a weekend.
Yeah.
And that has 2 rooms. And you basically spend a weekend, and you guys go halvesies on it. You spend a weekend together.
Okay.
Just as roommates. You don't always have to be hanging out if you're roommates, but just sharing that shared space for 2 days. And if things go well, you go, all right, we'll be roommates. If there's some like weird stuff comes up over those couple days, you can be like, let's just not be roommates. So you're test driving a roommate before they move in.
A test drive. Now, you brought up an interesting point, and we won't stay on this too long, but I think, in my personal opinion, so what you just raised on is like, you don't need to hang out all the time. So I think what makes a really great roommate is, so like, there were anomalies, but like all 4 of us were living together.
Sure.
We both shared a room for, 2 years or 1 year?
One year. Shared a room 1 year.
And we all had singles and other thing, but like, you don't always need to be best friends with your roommate.
Yeah.
When you start living with them, you're going to feel pressured that you need to like, we need to hang out, we need to be best friends.
Yeah.
If you form a great friendship naturally, that's great. And you're going to be already living together default. So you're going to have stuff that you tell each other. But like, do not try to be best friends inseparable with your roommate.
No.
Because guess what? You have to spend the most time with that person. So it's okay to be individual and do your own things. Don't try to put too much pressure on yourself trying to make this like your new friendship.
It's a good one.
It's a living arrangement.
It's a good one.
There's a difference between being friends and living well together. It could be your best friend, but if I lived with my best friend, I would, it depends. It depends.
All right, let's do one more do's and don'ts.
Fire drills.
Fire drills.
I'll save the other one.
Do and a don't for a fire drill.
You can kick this one off.
All right, so my do for a fire drill. So the most effective drills are the drills that feel the most realistic.
I like it.
So, obviously, if you listen to the show, you probably have watched The Office, and you see the fire drill episodes and things like that. Where Dwight,
so we're rewatching The Office again.
Yes.
Because we heard the rumor it might go off air, so we've been binging it, and we got through the fire drill in like maybe on Monday.
Yeah.
So great.
So,
I love
it's
that
one of
one.
the opens, and, all this stuff is happening, and Dwight puts, like, a burner underneath a door handle to simulate that. And so what you want to do is basically hire a special effects company to come into your office and stage a fire. So we're talking the most state-of-the-art special effects.
If you weren't a part of that situation, you would think that the entire building
100%.
I love it.
And then have your employees deal with that situation and then be able to go, that was our fire drill.
Assess your readiness by throwing them into the literal fire.
Exactly.
Okay, I love it.
Yep.
I'll play off that one and say, if you find yourself in a fire drill situation, the thing is with fire drills is they happen so often. It happens all the time at work. You're like, okay, yeah, you bitch about it. You're like, do I really have to leave this email I'm about to send? Like, nothing's gonna happen if I stay here.
Yeah.
You need to treat this as if it is a real fire. So you need to douse yourself in water, the nearest water bottle.
Sure.
Go to the break room, and you need to stay low, and you need to crawl on the ground all the way to your designated meet spot. You have to take the stairs. You crawl down the stairs. See, the thing is, smoke. It rises. It rises.
Yeah.
So if you stay low, you're going to avoid snake inhalation.
The
snakes are all going to come out.
The snakes are also going to drop from the ceiling.
So you need to treat this as real as possible. So while everyone's just calmly walking to the elevator, guess what? You're crawling your way to safety. And when that actual fire starts, you are the one that's going to survive while everyone else is going to be burned to a crisp.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. My don't for fire drill is don't just rely purely on the fire alarm that's in your building. Go ahead and bring your own from home. You can buy alarms online, very loud, shrieking alarms. And what you can do is make sure, so don't forget to just make your own alarm to go along with that fire alarm that's going off in your building. So buy basically the loudest one you can get so everyone can hear it, and basically put that on your desk. And as soon as the real the fire alarm goes off,
that one?
hit on that, and then now everyone really knows that the fire alarm is going off.
Okay, I love that one. My don't is don't tell anyone about the fire if you see it. Now, see, the thing is, at the end of the day, it's all about you. If you're going to survive, you got to make yourself survive. So we've seen it all before. There's a panic when there's a fire. People are running, they're shoving, they're trampling people. If you see the fire, you know what your job is to do first? Don't tell a goddamn soul about it.
Nope.
You go and you can leisurely take the elevator, you take the stairs. Mm-hmm. You will be the first one out. There's no crowd, there's no shoving. Once you get outside, you play hero and say, I think there's a fire in that building. And then you're the guy who reported it based on some kind of smell. They have no idea you saw it.
I like it.
The thing is, don't tell anyone about the fire.
Don't tell.
Plus, you know how you get new stuff? Fires. Insurance.
Oh, duh.
Let it burn.
Yeah, let it all burn, and you can buy new ones. I mean, that's kind of how it works. Before we, I think,
we always get is it Pete, you think?
Oh, it might be.
Might be. Well, I'll probably answer.
Yeah, go ahead and answer that.
Hello, Random Word Podcast. Oh.
Haha, we tricked you.
That's called acting. Look it up.
Yeah. Maybe I heard of it, because we're very good at it.
Christopher Walken's.
Oh my God.
Get it? It's Walken. Oh my God, I don't know what to say. Sounds more like Borat.
Yeah.
My wife.
Yeah, that was a good Borat impression.
I think I did a Watkins one time, and it was okay, but it wasn't great. But it's not like a. Yeah. But I've been doing a project for Ben where we're gonna develop a new intro.
Maybe
it's gonna have.
I haven't approved it yet.
Yeah, it's gonna have.
Still got to go through me.
It's gonna have like snippets of like really funny phrases we've said throughout the first 20 episodes.
Sure.
And so I had to go back, and no kidding. I started by listening to every episode and then like skipping around.
Yeah.
And then I just gave up and played the best of because it's the
Smarter,
culmination of all the funny,
it's the best moments,
all the funny bits. Yeah. And so I've been pulling stuff, but like it'll bring up all these early show memories, and like one where I was like Christopher Walken's, and you were like, well, first of all, it's Walken. Yeah. He's not plural. There are 6 of them.
I had somebody at dinner last Friday bring up the dog. They said the dog situation was their favorite moment on the show, was when the dog got loose and we were chasing down the dog the whole time. That's somebody's favorite moment on the show, is that situation.
I helped save that dog, and that lady did
wild.
not give a she was
Chinese
like,
food on the porch, man.
I went up and told her, I was like, hey, your dog was missing. The cop took it. That's where he took it. And she's like,
so good.
Oh, okay. And then she went inside, came back outside, ate Chinese food on her deck.
Yeah.
I was like,
if you haven't heard those episodes, just go back and listen to the best ofs. And actually, we've gotten a ton of downloads on those best ofs, so people are digesting those, so that's good. Call center. So the randomwordblog@gmail.com is the way to get in touch with the show. Let's start with Marquise, 28 years old, and subject line, date night. Marquis says, what are good first date spots? Finally going on a date for the first time in a few years. Messy breakup. Hey, Marquis, you're back on the horse. Congratulations. I'm sure women don't want to be referred to as horses. So Marquis, or men. Yeah, that's true. No,
2018.
right.
2019.
So first date spots. There's some classics out there.
There are some classics. I think you should go a little non-traditional.
I agree.
I think you should probably go to like a martial arts open gym. Or maybe sign up for a Taekwondo lesson, because if there's one thing you want to know about your partner, your significant other that you're trying to court, is you need to know their combat level, their combat ability. What are they capable of? And you need to know right now if this is someone that you need to be afraid of, or someone that you can maybe be on equal terms with, or if you can physically dominate them. Maybe it's time to find yourself a new challenge.
Okay.
So I think by testing their combat capability, you will test your own compatibility.
I do like the non-traditional route. I was going to go that way as well. I'd say there's a couple different spots you could take them to. You could take them to like a very intense like political rally and kind of see how they act.
That'd
Not necessarily what politics they have, but more about how they react in the moment, like dealing with all like just the craziness at one of those rallies.
Yeah, if they get swept up in it, maybe you find out that they might enjoy things that you don't.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, you're very into what they're saying. And then like another possible option is you just go straight into, you ask them, hey, wear like a white dress. We're going to this cool party. You wear a white dress, and then you show up in a tux, and you actually go to a church, and then you say, look, like this would be what it would be like if we got married. Isn't this funny?
Oh my God.
Isn't this fun? And then if they go along with it, if they're like, oh yeah, this is funny. Like,
what if they looked you dead in the eyes and were like, let's do it, let's get married?
Yeah, and then you just get,
and then you're like, married. You're insane. We don't know each other.
Yeah, so that's how you weed out the crazies right off the bat. Yeah, did a little turn there. All right, so those are your ideas, Marquise. Who else? Who's next?
Let's do Sean. He's 26. It says bathroom disaster. Ooh.
Okay. Ooh.
Boy, are we familiar. We're probably the experts to go here.
Yes, I know a lot about bathrooms and disasters.
You say it's my forte.
Yes.
My boss and I have unfortunately synced up on the bathroom cycle.
I've been there.
That is a thing.
I've been there.
There are... and I try to vary my times because of this, because I don't like getting caught in that pattern.
I don't know, same. I've actually turned around out of the bathroom because I've seen my boss at the urinal or something like that.
And so he says, every time I go, and it happens to all of us, I'm sure if you think about it, guess what? Next time you go into the bathroom, pay attention to who's in there with you. Yeah. And then next time you go, just keep a mental tally, because it's actually a thing. People go at certain times, and if you get caught up in that shuffle, it's hard to break free.
No, this is a fact, because Ricky actually would tell me a great story. At our old office, the bathroom was right down the hall, like most offices, but at one point, he and our boss were heading to the bathroom at the same time. They reached the doorway to walk in, and they both accidentally timed it up, so they were walking through the doorway at the same time, and so they got kind of stuck for a second. And he said, it was the most.
Why would no one of them let each other pass?
Because they just weren't really thinking about it. And then he said they both got
probably
stuck
like,
for a second.
He'll bow out. I'm the boss.
And the boss was just like, what the heck? Like, what's going on? And he said it was one of the most awkward moments of his life, where literally they tried to walk through. And then Ricky said it was a weird thing where he was like, oh, no, okay, you just go ahead. And then, like, the boss was kind of like, oh, you go. And then they both, like, almost got stuck again.
God damn it.
Oh, it's like with cars where you're like, no, you go.
You go.
And then they go, like, no, you go. And then you start going, and then they start going. It was literally like that with people and his boss.
You ever do that when you're walking, that, you know, the when you
I
what's
hate
weird
that.
is like
so much.
I feel like I can single out those people, and so like when I'm walking down the street, I look at that person and there's like an understanding of where we're going, but every so often there's somebody who I cannot like. I think it feels
can't get a read on.
It feels weird to say this, but like I can almost tell exactly where they're going to walk, but like there's someone who you can't read. And that's where those situations come
Disaster.
up. And I'm just like, it shouldn't be this hard. No. And then you both offer the same direction. Then one of you is like, I'm going to take the initiative. And the other person's thinking that too. And then you, it's just, it's bad. It's a nightmare.
And the whole time I go like, sorry, I'm sorry. It's just so awkward for me. Did we give Sean any advice there?
No, he says every time I go, he seems to be there as well. This wouldn't be so bad if he wasn't so loud. He grunts excessively and makes a lot of nasty noises when in the stall. How do I approach him on this and still keep my job? Well, short answer, short. You don't say a word.
No, you can't. He's the boss.
Yeah, and also, like, I mean, we've been there.
There's nothing you can do,
Listen,
Sean.
You hear a lot of gross things in a bathroom because it's a bathroom. Get over it. Everyone makes noises like that. Yeah. But there are people who do go to the urinal and they go like, oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, they say that as they're peeing, and I'm like...
It's like they've been locked in a cage for the last 2 days.
First time going to the bathroom in 8 years, Robinson Crusoe. Yeah. Like, I don't know. But the long story short, you don't say a word. You take that to your grave because I'm sure you've heard some terrible things. And guess what? I'm sure that if the boss isn't aware, the only thing you could possibly do is after he makes all those noises and comes out, maybe he's under the impression he's in there alone or no one knows him. Yeah. Just look at him. Just look at him in the eyes. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know, you can say something like, sounds like a good day, or have a good day.
Sounds like a good day. Oh,
or
man, I heard those noises you made in there. Sounds like a good day.
You need to make the eye contact. Understand that he is defecating in a really aggressive manner in front of one of his employees. And he's either going to, 1, not change, or 2, maybe he will. I mean, at this point, I just wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't say anything.
No. Sean, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
I also heard a funny story from somebody where at their company was so dead set on efficiency that they installed 2 lights. No, this was different. Where there's 2 lights, a blue light and a pink light, and the lights were connected to the light switches to where the bathrooms were. They were 1-person bathrooms, so you would know if you're in one part of the big warehouse or whatever, if the blue light's on, okay, somebody's in the bathroom. So as soon as somebody turns the light on in the bathroom, the blue light goes on. So you know I'm not going to walk all the way to the bathroom because I know somebody's in there already.
That is so smart.
So it's smart, but then you also remember, okay, if I'm seeing somebody go into the bathroom,
they've been in there for like 10 minutes.
You're like looking at your watch, it's like, oh my God, Salty Dalton's been in there for like 5 minutes.
That's
like,
true.
It could get kind of weird. It could get weird in certain circumstances for people to actively kind of know how long you're in the bathroom for.
I think the best way to get around that is like if you have if it's a single use restroom, you're out of luck. It is what it is.
Yep.
Unless you want to play the game where you don't turn on the light and you try to get done before anyone notices.
In the dark. Yeah.
But
people keep jiggling the lock.
The other thing would be like kind of like in those parking garages now, they have lights over vacant spots.
Exactly.
Is in a row of stalls.
I found that those never work.
If there's they're never
accurate.
Yeah, they parking garages. Yeah,
like there's 50 spots in this row. It's like there's no spots in this row.
Absolutely none. But like for a row of stalls, if you had that light system out front. And that way, without trying to test doors, and like my early stories of someone kicking in the stall door, like you'll know what's occupied before you go there. I think that'll be smart.
I think that would be smart as well. We'll cut it at that because we're running out of time here, but we will save that any other call center emails for next week's show. Again, the randomwordblog@gmail.com is the email to reach us. And again, reach out to us on Instagram as well at the Random Word Podcast. But 35 episodes in the books. We also have a Drunkards and Dragons episode. If you did not check that out, we had a brand new Drunkards and Dragons episode up. If that's your thing, we've gotten some downloads on that. It was a ton of fun exploring a new town and doing some new stuff. So definitely check out Drunkards and Dragons if you're into fantasy and D&D and that sort of thing. Salty Dalton, we're at the end of the show here. We made the declaration of what's going to happen here.
A joke in the beginning.
A joke at the beginning.
And a phrase
at
the end.
So phrase that pays.
I hit the random phrase generator.
All right, what do we got?
Okay.
This is big. This is 35 episodes in. This needs to be solid.
Not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Not the sharpest tool in the shed.
You know what that reminds me of?
A dull hammer.
Smash Mouth.
Not the sharpest tool in the shed. And I said, hey
now, you're an all-star.
Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, man. Let's... Next week on the show, Smash Mouth. We'll bring him up. We'll bring him up. I'll tweet him.
Bring him out.
We'll see what happens.
What if they respond?
I mean, they might. You never
How
know.
creizy it'd be if we interviewed Smash Mouth on the show.
I mean, it's
I
not
wouldn't
gonna
know what to
happen,
ask
but-
and be like,
yeah.
so you sing any other songs
Yeah, so that
lately?
one song, they're like, oh yeah, we have like 10 albums. Like
I'd
we
be like,
wrote a lot of songs.
Yeah, but what about All Star?
Yeah,
Sing
but-
All Star for us.
We all know All
I
Star.
don't even have my guitar. Sing it.
Yeah, that
You
would be good.
monkey. Sing it.
Well, we appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
That's 35 episodes in the books. Sayonara, my sweet suckers.
We outie.